the hideous sell-off from Biotech that started last summer when Hillary Clinton, the presumptive Democratic nominee, seemed to declare war on higher drug prices. This group has finally started to rebound. Ever since the market-wide bottom in mid-February, the biotechs have come roaring back from their lows, although in most cases, maybe they should never have been where they got to. Take BioMarin, one of the leading makers of orphan drugs that treat rare diseases, drugs that tend to be very expensive for good reason, because otherwise no one would spend money on trying to discover them. Here's a stock that plunged from over $150 last July all the way down to $62 at the lows in February. BioMarin has since bounced back to 90, including a very nice 3.4% rally in the wake of its research and development day today. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's got a lot more room to run. And BioMarin is a real company. They've got multiple drugs on the market. Plus, the company has a robust late-stage pipeline that we heard about today. BioMarin giving us some strong data on, actually just astonishing data on hemophilia and for treatment for the most common form of dwarfism. Can the stock keep climbing? Let's check in with JJ Bienaimé. He's the CEO of BioMarin Pharmaceutical. Hear more about his company and where it is headed. Mr. Bienaimé, welcome back to Mad Money. JJ, have a seat. I saw the headline, and frankly, having known people who have hemophilia, this is astonishing. You're even talking about a potential cure. Just tell us what you saw, because this was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah, I think when we started the program, we were hoping to get to a 5% expression level of factor VIII, 5% of normal, because that's a major hurdle. When you get above 5%, generally the number of bleeding episodes the patients get are very low. But this is definitely beyond our expectations. We were not thinking that we could get much above 10%, and we have now 2 patients above 50%, which is basically normal level. I think one of the patients that our key investigator treated said that when he got above 20%, he thought he won the lottery. He's changing his life.
Well, when I read the analyst reports, this is Piper Jaffray, we're not expecting to see expression levels get to 60% of normal. It was achieved in the first 2 patients in the high-dose cohort. This is achieving near normal cure.
This potentially could. Again, you have to remember, this is early data. This is first in human. It's only 8 patients, but I would say the results are definitely above our own expectations and above most key experts in the field's expectations. So we hope, we're going to have to follow this patient for several weeks and several months. I think it continues, but it's very, very promising.
No safety side effect problem.
Yeah, there is some liver function, elevation, but after the 3rd patient, we treated all patients with a short course of prophylactic steroids, and apparently it seems to prevent the liver issues.
All right, JJ, tell our viewers how many people suffer from this, and what happens to them if there's nothing.
Well, today there are about in the developed world about 100,000 patients with hemophilia A. This is hemophilia A. There's also B, but hemophilia A is the largest market. About 60% of them are, 50 to 60% of them are severe, because in this trial there were only severe hemophiliac patients that need one recombinant factor VIII injection every other day, basically. And in this case, we hope that we are going to substantially reduce or potentially eliminate entirely the need for recombinant factor VIII injections, which are inconvenient and also extremely expensive.
Right. Now, also the news on dwarfism is pretty amazing. Again, another thing that alone should have sent the stock up as much as it was.
Yes, actually, we are also very, very happy with the achondroplasia data, which is a #1 cause of human dwarfism. About a year ago, when we had an R&D day a year ago, we presented the first 6 months of data extrapolated to a year. Now we were able to show that 1-year data is just as good, and we're bringing the kids, the achondroplastic kids, back to a normal growth curve. And we have some preliminary data that shows we might improve bone proportionality also, which is very important in this disorder. So this is very exciting, and the safety profile so far is pretty good.
And how many people suffer from dwarfism?
Same thing, actually. It's about 100,000 patients in the world, developed world. But this drug will likely only work in patients that have whose growth plate is not fused, so probably under the age of 17, 18, which is about 24,000 patients in the world.
Okay. Now, do you think things have gotten a little bit back to normal, that the industry is no longer public enemy #1? Because the diseases that you're talking about, if your company didn't address them, they're not going to be cured.
No, that's for sure. And I think, we're in an election year. Drug pricing is in the headline, but I think eventually the dust will settle, and I think continue to do research in innovative programs that make a huge difference in the patient's quality of life and potentially life expectancy is always going to be rewarding.
And once again, just so people know, if there was no orphan drug designation, then these drugs would not be worth doing.
It's likely that there will be much, much fewer of them. I mean, the Orphan Drug Act has really made a big difference in this respect in allowing companies like BioMarin to devote resources to those rare and ultra-rare disorders.
All right. Well, I hope the politicians and the voters respect that, because you've done amazing things. This would be incredible human food. It'd be amazing, worth a lot more to the stock than it is. That's JJ Banamees, the CEO of BioMarin. This was some amazing research today. Stick with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.